is everyone? The first building block for an argumentative essay should be an outline for guidance. A healthy 3 subtopics is optimal, but before we get to that, we need to take a stance on the argument. While your argument will be different based on the prompt you're given, ours is that corporate partnerships with schools generally have a negative effect on the school population. 3 subtopics will be businesses bribing schools with poor intentions, corporate integration into education, and the impact of advertisements on school populations. Something that goes along with the outline should be your thesis. The prompt mentions pros and cons, so make sure to mention a pro with a counter-argument. Here's an example of an argumentative thesis using our prompt. Corporate partnerships in education benefit cash-strapped schools, but businesses bribing schools with poor intentions, corporate integration into the education system, and the impacts of advertisements on students' opinions all heavily outweigh the economic benefits. Every thesis needs a great introduction paragraph to hype it up. Use good word choice and a bit of storytelling to create an atmosphere that gets the reader questioning their own position on the topic before you present yours. Here's an example. Advertisements in schools often slip by without anyone noticing. They're so normalized that their effects and power can often be overlooked. Corporate partnerships are used as a tool to fix a problem that should not exist in the first place. The budget cut world of public education. The 3 body paragraphs of the essay should branch out from our original 3 subtopics. We'll need specific examples to back up our case. An argumentative essay needs to be founded on unique examples, not just quotes from documents. Your example should be derived from things like real-life examples close to you, studies that apply to a broader spectrum, and solid reasoning that can add to your argument. Paragraph 1. Businesses bribing schools with poor intent. Prescott High School's deal with the Maverick gas station chain originated from poor intent. In return for some funding and an expensive new scoreboard on the football field, Maverick could sell nicotine and alcohol products closer to the high school than previously allowed, while also benefiting from advertising their brand on campus with a fancy new scoreboard. Back to where the prompt said pros and cons. We're going to need a counter-argument at some point in this essay, and this point is a good spot. Here's an example. While some might say the Maverick location has provided newfound convenience, it cannot be denied that students are much more likely to leave school due to the proximity of the gas station. They also now have easier access to dangerous substances. Paragraph 2. Corporate integration into education. Coca-Cola sponsors programs in school to advertise Gatorade as a good way to hydrate and stay healthy. In middle school, we watched Channel 1 News almost every day. This certainly impacted us and our peers' opinion on what was going on in the world. All while doing this, it was feeding us advertisements directed specifically for the children made to watch it. Paragraph 3. Impacts of advertisements on school populations. In a study conducted by Yale, 45% of students were likely to consume more food after viewing fast food advertisements within their school. Commentaries should always follow specific examples. They should be your reasoning for why that example supports your argument. In this case, it should be why this con outweighs this pro. Consider going into hypotheticals. Here's an example. In an ideal situation where advertisements in schools could be non-intrusive and leave education unaffected, there could be a system where schools can make up the shortcomings of government funding with sponsorships that have no ulterior motives. The conclusion of an argumentative essay should recount the original building block ideas of it. For us, it was the pros and cons of corporate partnerships and why the cons outweigh the pros. The basic structure of your conclusion could be as follows. While it can be said, list your pros, but don't give them too much praise. The list the cons that sound bad are more important, and the integrity of education should be first in a school environment. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Have a fantastic day.